Hey everyone, you're listening to Cosmic Crit, and it's your friendly neighborhood Game Master podcaster and remastered Blu-ray 20th Anniversary Edition of 1997's movie, The Fifth Element. Patrick here. Welcome, one and all, and everyone listening this week as this episode airs, and in the future way past today's date. I am joined in this introduction by not just one of my co-hosts, but all five of them. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hey, guys.
Guys, this is episode 50. Whee! Whoa! Episode 50 of the podcast proper. Welcome to one of our huge milestone episodes here on the show. By the time you're listening to this, we will be getting back from Dragon Con. We'll have celebrated the podcast and Starfinder's 1-year anniversary, and we made some really fun announcements if you follow us on social media. So it's been a pretty busy month in general, coming at a skitter shot and getting back into this game. But in general, it has been an even crazier year. This entire year on the podcast, we smashed over 100,000 downloads, nearly double that number again, and in the meantime had on some great guests from other podcasts, as well as Starfinder friends like Dan Peck and Paizo developers and writers. And at this point, we've played through more than 2/3 of the Dead Sun's adventure path. So yeah, episode 50. I just want to take some time at the beginning of the episode and give you all the floor. Say whatever you like. Tyler, why don't you start us off?
I mean, it's kind of like you said, it has been a crazy year. I never really thought when we started playing that it kind of led here. It was kind of the whole thing basically started on a whim. I think when Patrick or somebody just offhand commented like, these are so fun, we should record them. And we did. And it's like, well, since we're doing this, we might as well put it out. And it's like, yeah, we might as well. It's just been quite a wild ride to see people. I've never created something that people appreciated, And so when you make something and you put it out there and it's your baby and you don't immediately watch people just flush it down the toilet, that's a really great feeling.
You're making your life sound very sad, Tyler.
No, you had a pretty amazing life, so calm down.
Well, it's very different. My background is very much in sports, and so I got to experience what it was like the jockey side of life in high school and a little bit in college. And this is it's just been a whole different ride that has been extremely fulfilling. I've gone from not knowing you guys to knowing you guys, playing a ton of video games with you guys, to now making a podcast, and I've met most of you in real life, and that's insane, and I love it, and I want to keep doing it until I get old and I die like Andis.
Okay, that's a lot to say. How about we go for another strong 3 years? Let's leave it at that.
Okay, that's a good. I feel like
life on this friendship, Tyler.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's go from the show's jock apparently to the show's goth. Miles, do you got anything to say on our?
I'm the goth now.
Apparently.
I guess I am the one into horror. Well, to echo what Tyler was saying is, when we first started doing the Pathfinder Final Fantasy game as kind of a goof, and it was a lot of fun. When you first brought up the idea of like, we should do Starfinder because it's starting up soon and we can get there on the ground up and it'll be fun for us, and it has been super, super rewarding, and part of it is I'm playing with 5 of my best friends. The Discord was something that I didn't think would initially be very populated, and it's become part of my daily routine is being in that Discord and talking to everybody. And we've had so many people just become part of this community. And that's, I think the weirdest thing to me is that we created this little community. And one of the things I'm most proud of, because I think that everyone there is fantastic, and I feel that we've all become friends and even family in some ways, because we talk about our daily lives and the stuff we're very passionate about. They're very familiar with the things that I'm passionate about,
and we get to broadcast our daily arguments to everyone to see.
Thank you, Miles. And from there, let's go on to Jabert. Jabert, what you got to say?
Hey there, Patrick. I've got my famous rich person glasses on because now we are celebrities of the internet. And
oh yeah, I got that podcast fame going
and
for us.
got that podcast heat. I walk down the street and people say, "Who's that?" Because they don't know who I am. But if I talk and I say my name, they say, "Oh, that's who it is." That's the kind of heat I'm bringing to this. And it's all because of our listeners. If I'm not being a weirdo for a second, I adore all of them. Thank you guys so much for listening and for sharing the show. It's just it's been a really rewarding experience, and we hope to keep it up for you guys.
Indeedy duty. From Jabert, how about we go on to Drew? Howdy, Drew.
It is so difficult to narrow down to one thing about the last year of the show to talk about. And part of that is because, I've been podcasting for a very long time. And this show, as much as I love our other show and I love the audience and fans of our other show, this show just brought out a whole new gamut of experiences for people just coming and finding us and talking to us and experiencing this new game together with us. And that's been really cool. I've loved seeing the Starfinder Society take off in Discord. I've loved the conversations at all in Discord. I love the fact that I get to talk about Gundam on a daily basis and people know what I'm talking about. And they don't look at me like I'm some kind of weirdo.
Yeah, don't worry. I give them enough looks in your direction to make up for the lack of weirdo looks.
And honestly, it's just been a tremendous experience to hang out with you guys for so many hours and days and weeks in what has been the longest, fastest year of a podcast ever.
And how about finally Rebecca? What you got to say, Rebecca?
I just want to extend a heartfelt thanks to the 5 of you for giving me a weekly game with 5 people that I genuinely enjoy spending time with, and for creating 5 characters that I genuinely enjoy spending time with. I feel extremely lucky to have the 5 of you to have introduced me to tabletop in the to begin with, but also just to have a weekly game. I think that that's a rarity that we have a dedicated gaming group that shows up every week and I mean, fully shows up, is 100% dedicated to it. And I just feel very lucky to have that. So thank you. And thank you especially to Patrick for weaving a fantastic story. And of course to Paizo for creating this awesome game.
I was about to say, I disappeared for like 2 weeks a while back there, but I understand the sentiment. Yeah. For my part, I want to go back to what Drew said and thank all the Crittermander captains out there that have joined us in our Discord channel in GMing Starfinder Society online. It's been a very fun summer, myself learning Starfinder Society, and very excited for where our online community is going to go from here. For my part, I did very little in kicking off the Crittermander Society, but I do want to thank all of our GMs from Mass Ferret, Cosmic 11, Macaroni, John 341, Shadiest, Dragoon, Pithica, Chupak Rakata, and all the awesome Discord moderators that help make it happen, like Tim, Cody, Phoenix, Blazork, aka Matt. If you're listening, it is great gaming with you all, and I want to thank you for taking your time to GM and help other fans and Starfinder folks get into the game and have someone to play with online. Episode 50, we cannot take any more time on this introduction. We got to get into it. So let's do that. Time to play the game. How about it?
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is episode 50, entitled
The Jangly Man's Guide to the Galaxy.
Last time on Cosmic Crit.
We faced off against Darius Gilcrest and 2 fighters in an epic space battle.
With McScruffins as his co-pilot, Raimi deftly outmaneuvers the Corpse Fleet pilots.
Piloting checks are super important. Lucky for us, Raimi Quindar has it under control.
Dross wasted how many nuclear missiles?
Dross launches nukes! He missed.
Alindra pulls out the mom voice on Adros.
Dross doesn't know how to respond to Alindra's bipolar method of intimidation and encouragement.
All aboard the shuttle to the Jangly Man!
Looks like we're in for a showdown and revelations as we board the Singularity to confront Darius Gilcrest.
Darius Gilcrest was resurrected as Mr. Bojangles.
Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
Shucks howdy, cowboys, and welcome to your big shot at some of the most grisly bounties in the vast, as we listen to some rocking jazz here on Cosmic Bebop. My name is Patrick, and I'm the GM, so let's get everybody together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's GM. We're blasting off through the gateway made of 12 suns to a point in a far-off galaxy, looking to rope in a big fish in the form of Darius Gilcrest. Joining me on the lookout for bounties across the solar system are my 5 friends and crewmates, the real folk blues of the podcast. To my left, some kind of data Isoki. This hyper-intelligent walking dog knows just what to say. It's Drew playing that Feldspar.
You know, Shoji Kawamori, creator of Macross, did all of the mechanical designs for the show.
Oh my god, shut up.
To his left, the ship's enforcer, investigator, and jet black-eyed sharpshooter. It's Jabert playing Andis 147.
Hey, Patrick, so glad to be here for number 50.
Glad to have you. Across the digital table for me, spiky hair, don't care for this slick-suited technomantic fighter pilot. It's Miles playing Raimi Spiegel.
See you later, Space Cowboy.
To his left, the ship's high charisma good luck charm who'll stab you in the back with a solar blade. It's Rebecca playing Alindra Valentine.
Hello.
And finally, to my right, they're wacky and kooky and may or may not know how to hack into everything. It's Tyler playing Ed Ferranis.
You know the first rule of combat? Shoot them before they shoot you.
That's a pretty good one. I think your initiative rolls will figure that out.
That's a good point.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Episode 50. Congratulations, everybody.
Woo.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Did
I've
guys
never done more than a year of something.
You're 1 year old.
I mean, you went to school.
You've been married for a while, too.
He did a completely different major every of the 4 years.
Yeah.
A true Renaissance man. Where did we last leave off? Let's get right back into it.
We were boarding Darius Gilcrest's ship, right?
Oh,
And
yes.
he had killed his crew, and
Yeah,
then he said, to be continued.
Yeah, he had shot them, and they are dead.
Yeah, so we're actually on the Serengeti right now, and he's talking to us.
Oh, I'm sorry. He has a new name. It's the Jangly Man.
That's, oh yeah.
Yes, his rechristened name.
I feel like he didn't get to pick his name. I feel like someone else picked that one for him.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, we'll bring you back, but I get to name you this time.
Exactly. Chalupa Batman. No.
Oh.
Yeah. Last time you all fought your way past this barricade of Cult of the Devourer ships and had this proposition from DG, Darius Gilcrest, to come aboard the Singularity for him to share some secret with you. And you did see, indeed, I will take us there right now, that he murdered seemingly his entire crew aboard the Singularity right now.
All those bodies.
I'm not gonna lie. Until I heard the episode today, I forgot that the thing about this being Braskin's old ship.
Yeah, the Singularity. The walls here, dull red color, freshly splattered with crimson streaks of blood sprays. And at the end of the hall, you see Darius Gilcrest, this reborn Jangly Man. And he is a sight to behold. You've seen a holographic projection, but up close, he's got these weird syncopated movements, kind of janky. And there are these long, wispy threads of hair coming off of his head. The skin looks very taut and tightly kind of pulled over the skull. And around him is this massive swirling darkness. And it looks like he has this very far off look in his eyes. He just got done holstering his pistol and says, "To you all, you came here to talk, and I have a story to tell you, Andis. It's about our mutual friend, and this takes us all the way back to Depths. You didn't forget about that place, did you, Andis?"
Andis just sort of stares at him and says, no such luck for you.
Our times together on that asteroid, I remember trying to open up your mind, figure out all that made you tick. As a young man, I spent time on Castrovel and worshipped the Devourer there after I killed my first sentient being. It was a young Formian, not much older than a decade. I dissected its brain like I was back in science class. There's nothing inherently different about our minds. All of us, I found, we all have this darkness that exists inside us, and that is where the Devourer lies in our consciousness. It was back on Depthsis where one would come and visit you often. She introduced herself as Null 9, and I remarked how similar she looked to you, Andis. Apparently, she was very interested in your time on that rock. All those many decades ago, she came back every few years to ensure you were in pain and discomfort. She would torture you, place you in shock treatment, and gave me ideas on how to better dissect you, rewire your core, your pain receptors. She, like me, worshipped the Devourer, and tasked me with keeping you in pain. And when I left Depthsis for other opportunities, she was supposed to arrive and kill you, but you seem to have escaped the planetoid by then. Null 9 is my master now, and she has already been to the sun's planet below us. She'll unlock the stellar generator, and I will have the pleasure of killing you all in her honor. Yeah! Yeah! He pulls that pistol out. We're in combat.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, I thought he got on a horse. Oh my gosh!
Where'd he get that horse?
He rides away into the sun. Y'all ready for some combat? Boom! Right here at the beginning of episode 50.
Yeah!
Do it.
Yeah! I'm gonna need some of those. What do we call them? Initiative rolls.
All right.
Lead the charge, Andis. Charge.
Oh boy.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I didn't select my token.
That's a good way to start. Rolling a 2.
Yeah, just offer rolls. I love them all. Thank you, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll these 2 rock 17s in a row.
I hate you.
We've got all of our initiative rolls ready to go, and believe it or not, Knack Feldspar drew top of the turn order with a 26. Is that right? That's a big bonus he got there.
I'm a big rat.
Big fast rat.
Yeah. So can I take possibly a second to do a quick perception check before my turn?
Yeah. What are you looking for?
I just want to kind of look around and see if I can kind of see what it looks like he's got, see what it looks like he's, what's around, if there's anything that we can use to our advantage.
So give me a perception check, but why don't you also give me knowledge engineering?
That is a 32 perception check.
That's pretty good. So it is pretty dim here. We got some flickering lights in the hall, and it looks like Gilcrest is in the bridge of the singularity, and there's something, these weird things swirling around his head. You're not really sure what it is. It looks like some kind of, maybe a swarm of flies, but it looks technological in nature. You're not sure exactly what it is you're seeing.
Guys, there's something weird flying around his head. They don't look real. They look artificial, but get them! And I'm gonna try, I know I'm at the back of the pack here, I want to try to see if I can use my Hailstorm Zero pistol, my new pistol that I got off of the boss of the Kish, to see if I can get a shot off at this cat.
Yeah, that's what Zavrahab did. This cold pistol.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. Give me that shot. Ooh.
So that is a 30 to hit.
Against EAC, even with this cover he's getting from being inside the bridge, kind of hiding behind one of these doors here, that is a hit.
For 9 damage.
Ouchies. Excellent. And that is your turn. We got get him on him. And next in the turn order is Gilcrest himself. And these things swirling around his head just kind of stream out into the hallway. These little black flecks kind of absorbing the light as they go, and you hear him kind of ululating with his voice. Just there sounds like a mechanical distortion coming from his throat. I need everyone to please make me a will save.
No, my only weakness.
Yes, everyone, please make me one. I think we got all 5 of them up on the board. Let's see here. Got some high rolls. Ooh, got a couple low ones. And this was going to be a DC 20. So, got an Andis, a Knack, and an Edros that have passed Edros by the skin of your teeth. Raimi and Alindra. These things float down the corridor of the singularity and, either like jump into your spacesuit. You see some kind of just like float right through the protective screen of your helmets. It feels like water in the ear where your equilibrium is thrown off as the kind of like sonic waves are hitting you. And you have the shaken condition. Oof. So you got some negatives to here up in front of me. Shaken. It's -2 to attack rolls, skill checks, ability checks, and saving throws. You guys got that? Mm-hmm. And as Darius Gilcrest is kind of like singing in your direction, he's brandishing his own pistol, not shooting at you yet, but he seems to be also speaking to things around him, kind of just moving his head in all directions and doing the same weird devour cant that you heard him saying to the other ships, the two fighters and his crew before. And when he does this, there are a number of things that are going to happen, none of them good for you, emerging from the walls of the singularity, appearing behind various doors, bulkheads on the ship, and phasing right through solid matter are these slick looking black shadows. Look like they're flitting in and out of existence, and these dark shades reach out shadowy arms toward you. Oh, we've got another set of combatants here. Oh, and it's their turn. I should probably mention that.
Are they delivering that space pizza I ordered? Oh, no, that doesn't look like a space pizza delivery guy. Never mind.
No. Go ahead and reveal what's happening here.
Okay, well, we're surrounded. Listeners.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Bad things will be happening here. Let me give you a quick little picture of what these things look like from my description. A couple of them come out of the walls. A couple of them are firmly placed still, like half in the walls, and arms are reaching out at you, these shadowy, smoke-looking arms. And they start attacking just about everyone. Let's, I think I've got them arrayed. Everyone gets an attack. How about that? This is very egalitarian GMing, doing all equally. And I'm just going to go down the initiative order with my D20s on these attacks.
Yeah!
So a couple bad ones here. These guys, oh boy, a 2 and a 1. Not going to be a cosmic crit fail, but looks like Knack and Edros have survived.
Yes!
Unscathed, no attack there, I'm pretty sure. What's your EAC, Knack?
My EAC is 22.
Okay, yeah, 2 doesn't do it. Let's go down the line. Lindra, what is your EAC?
21.
Okay, so that's going to be a hit. Andis?
That's a 25.
Ooh, that is just a hit there. And who's last? Oh, Raimi is at the bottom of this turn order. Pretty sure that's going to be a hit on you, but what's your EAC again, Miles?
26.
And just barely there too. Excellent. Let me go ahead and roll some damage. Not a ton of damage. These things coming out at you are indeed, it feels like they are moving through your body and just kind of like catching things as they go, tearing maybe. There's some internal bleeding. So first, this is Alindra. Max damage on a D4. That is 8 points of damage. Andis, 7 points. And Miles, 5 points. That is their turn. Alindra Vap.
All right,
all around you.
I'm going to go toward Photon Attunement.
Mm-hmm.
And these are shadow creatures, right? Can I tell anything about them?
Why don't you give me a knowledge mysticism if you've got
The 7. It's not going to do much.
Yeah, no, something about the way they move kind of reminds you of the incorporeal ghost you fought on the Drift Rock, the prior owner of the Drift Rider. Really not easy to hit. It seems like you're, striking at a cloud of smoke.
Okay. Being that I'm in the middle of the group, I'm not sure I have any choice but to attack anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to attack with my solar weapon.
So this one right in front of you is still in the wall, so providing a good amount of cover, but you can still attack it.
Okay, I'll try. Yeah, so I'm going after the one that's in the wall. And by the way, I have the Soulfire fusion on my weapon now. So, yay. Yeah, from Armory.
Still have to hit with it.
It's a 17 to hit. No, less than that. It'd be a 15.
15 with your -2. Wow, these guys have great EAC, KAC. That is going to be a miss.
Oh.
Miss on the first one. Do you have a move action you want to do?
No, I can't really move anywhere at the moment.
It's tight quarters here.
Yeah.
This hallway that you guys are in, just about a little over 10 feet wide. Next in the turn order, Andis 147.
All right. I am not going to let up on Darius Gilcrest. He is not going to get away from me this time. I'm going to withdraw up into the room with Darius Gilcrest.
Okay, so it will still provoke attacks of opportunity because withdrawal is just that first, thing that you're stepping across. And that is 2 of these creatures that are kind of standing in your way. I guess I should have formed more of a blockade on them, but they'll make a couple quick attacks. Let's do that. 16 on the dice, a 13 on the dice.
So my EAC against these attacks is 29.
Yeah, so that first one is a hit. The second one is a miss.
Okay.
13, so damage dice. Minimum damage, 5 points of damage. And you are indeed on the bridge with Gilcrest, who does not have a chance to attack of opportunity. So he is holding on to what looks like a staff in one hand and the pistol in the other. Doesn't have it ready to make a attack on you. So you are able to move past him. And what do you want for your standard?
I'm gonna shoot him right in the back, like a
true hero,
like a true hero would do. Ooh boy. Okay, that's gonna be a 20. Oh shoot! I meant to say I overcharge. I forgot.
Oh well.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a 29 to hit. 20 got him. So 23 to hit. 31.
That's a hit.
Yes. That's gonna be 27 points of damage to old Gilcrest.
Oh, that's too many.
And I look at him and I say, I've upgraded my laser rifle. I've put the power of kicking boots in it, and now I'm gonna kick you in your head.
Let me just go ahead and upgrade all of his weapons real quick while you're he goes to a drawer nearby and pulls out some heavy armament. No, that is your turn. Bring us to Adros Veronis. Rolled pretty low on this initiative roll. Got an 8.
Yeah.
What you got, Adros? You got 2 of these things right on you. One in the wall and one has moved into the hallway.
Yeah. Adros sees Olindra trying to fight something in the wall, but he also sees that she's afflicted badly. And he just reaches out and he touches her and he says, Serenray, purge this corruption. And boom, you're no longer shaken.
Ooh boy,
Awesome.
What's this ability?
Remove condition lesser. And so I can get rid of some of those nasties.
No, I like them being affected by conditions, please.
Yeah.
Darius Gilcrest, the returns entire shtick. So
Yeah. So because I'm a divine champion of Serenray, I can do some healing, and I can do remove condition lesser right now, and I can remove shaken, sickened, or staggered as the result of a disease or another ongoing effect. So it doesn't cure it, but it removes it for the time being.
okay, so I might have a chance. Let's go on to unless you want to move at all.
Nope. I'm just gonna then turn around and face all these things and try to take up a defensive stance as best I can.
Then we are going to Raimi Quindar at the bottom of the turn order.
All right. So, you did that to Olindra, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Patrick, how long does Shaken last?
So you're not too sure. Why don't you give me? Do you have knowledge engineering on this effect? Figure out what this is. What'd you get?
32.
All right, pretty darn good. This is a pretty high level cybernetic augmentation that Darius Gilcrest seems to have installed on them. It's some kind of nanotechnology, some nanites, and they seem to have, wormed their way past your suit into your auditory, maybe your visual systems. and providing you with this shaken condition. So it's not like a magical ability, unfortunately.
Oh, it's not magic.
Correct, yeah. It is giving just the shaking condition from this ability, these nanites.
Mm-hmm.
It's technological in nature. It seems to be emanating maybe from the throat noises that Darius Gilcrest was making.
I wish I could cast silence. Let's see. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is spend a resolve point to teleport just a little bit to the west, to the end of the hallway down here, just to get out of the being surrounded by two different shadow creatures. And then I'm going to cast Arcane Surge at the shadow creature in front of me here.
All right, so a clean line of sight directly down this starboard to port side hallway that you're in now.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me, is this a reflex save?
It is a reflex save for half if you make it.
Doing okay on reflex. Not their best, not their worst. I have rolled a 1 though, so it's kind of his worst.
And I have rolled 41.
Pretty good.
Damage.
Now, you do see this bolt blast through the chest of this shade, and it doesn't seem to affect it that much. As we have learned in fighting incorporeal creatures in the past, they're taking just the half damage on energy and magical attacks. But still, half that is 20 points, and that's a goodie amount. That takes us to the top of turn 2. Knack Feldspar.
Knack, still seeing everybody kind of surrounded by these ghost creatures, he's going to spend that good old-fashioned resolve point to use Get 'em on everybody in the room. So everything in here should have Get 'em on it right now, including old DG up at the top.
Alrighty. RP spent, and attack roll as well with that.
Well, I actually, in our last level up, purchased the Ghost Killer Fusion to allow me to do full damage to incorporeal creatures.
Right.
For
Wu-Tang Forever, Ghostface Killer Fusion. Got it.
Yes. Ain't nothing to pronk with.
Ain't indeed. These ghosts.
I applied that to my Hailstorm Zero pistol, which I would like to use against this guy just to my southeast that Raimi just attacked.
Drew has figured out how to beat Paizo at their game. With this fusion, you can indeed score critical hits against incorporeal ghosts.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
You gotta roll that 20 first. Ooh. It was rocking back and forth. That digital D20.
It was on 18, which is what I'm going to use instead of the 2 that it says I got. So that is a 16 to attack.
Ooh, against EAC, that's a miss. Oh, just barely a miss.
Oh no!
Yikes. That takes us back to DG's turn. Darius's turn. Oh, he continues speaking in this devour made-up language that he had, speaking apparently to these shades, and I think he's gotta move away from Andis and not get killed by Andis into the hallway here. Yeah, I think this is gonna be his action. He's doing something with this language, but he hasn't said what it is exactly. One of the shades though turns around when he kind of like comes up, whispers in its ear, and goes straight up to Andis in the cockpit. Ooh, boy, we got a whole bunch in the hall still. This one is going to move around the backside of Adros, try and flank him in. Let's do this attack against Andis first, a single attack. Ooh, 16 on the dice. That hit. Just a hit. And I should mention Darius is also ululating in your direction, Miles. You're still shaken this round. Alindra, not so much. Let's do some damage from this first shade attack. 6 points, Andis, and let's do, why not, 3 attacks. 2 from this first one and 1 from this one that went and moved Edros. 3 attacks on old Edros. Flanking Edros Verona.
As it did turn out, I did buy the OcuCloak processor because I don't like being flanked.
Who does?
I do.
So
Not for me.
That means these guys are not getting a bonus from flanking. I've rolled a 12, an 11, and a 12. These first two a little less because this one is double attacking. What is your EAC, Tyler?
My EAC is 26.
All right, so this first one that's just coming at you, these are misses, and this one that's moved around to try and flank has hit, and it does a little bit of damage. 7 points of damage.
What kind of damage?
Yeah, good question. This is incorporeal touch. This is just like the ghosts we have fought previously. These count as EAC attacks and are non-energy, non-kinetic damage. So no damage reduction.
All right, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
And this one down here, flanking on Knack, did not buy an Oculus processor. You better not have. Is going to make a...
You can flank diagonally?
Yes.
Because I tried to flank diagonally and I couldn't do it.
Most definitely, you can not move. It's going to make a couple attacks. What's your EAC again?
More than you roll. Nope. It's a 22.
All right, so these are both attacks that are hitting, rolling some damage. 7 on the first, 7 on the second, so that's 14 in total. Alindra, this one halfway in the wall, is going to make a couple attacks against you. Gotta roll 20 eventually. I've rolled so many attacks. The first one at 8, I'm pretty sure is going to miss. Your EAC?
21.
So actually that is just a hit. So these are 2 hits as well. So a max and a minimum damage. 13 points of damage in total. And that is their turn, bringing us back to Alindra. Your turn.
All right. So I have a plan.
Oh boy.
I know you love my plans.
No.
Okay. So I realized...
Why? No, stop making plans. Just go off on your own.
I realize this may provoke, will almost definitely provoke attacks of opportunity from the shadow creatures, but I am going to move with blazing orbit, so leaving a trail of flame behind me, which also provides concealment for me. I'm drawing a line so that I end up here. So that's 25 feet.
Filling up this.
Yeah, so my goal here is to get flame in between the shadow creature nearest to Darius and Darius, so that he can't go and whisper sweet nothings in the shadow's ear. And also to get between Darius and Andis and the other shadow monster, in the hopes that I can try to defend from Andis from Darius. I really don't want to lose Andis again. It's a close call.
They only used half of your RPs in the last episode.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, only about half. Yeah.
I was about to say it's probably fine. Okay, so blazed orbit that's just a move action, right?
It's just a move action, so I am still 5 feet away from this guy, so I'm going to end my turn with a solar weapon attack, and we'll see if this one hits. I cleared my cache.
Oh no!
All right, that's a 20 to attack.
22. He's got to get him on him.
Oh, 22.
22 is just a hit.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Gilcrest, once again, needing that. Get him!
Get him, baby!
Okay. And I am photon attuned, so that's going to be 38 damage.
So much damage. Jeez Louise.
Is that including your new Soulfire fusion?
Yes, it does. My fire.
That's why it's so much. All right, Darius Gilcrest not looking great from being stabbed in the chest. One, he was already an old man to begin with. These guys are just beating up an octogenarian. 2, he came back from the dead. He's weak. You guys are just tossing him around like a rag doll.
1, he's old. 2, we've killed him before.
Yeah, it's just like herb stomping this this weak, nearly dead person.
Hey, he's trying to kill us, so I can't feel bad about that.
Hope you're real happy, Miles, with yourself.
I am very pleased.
Let's go on to
Great tonight.
Andis 147. You've got one Oblivion Shade that's moved up to you. You've seen the hallway is now on fire with Alindra's magical flame.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
So incorporeal creatures are not necessarily like translucent, are they?
No, it's kind of like half and half. You see parts of them kind of, disappearing and reappearing.
So can I see Darius behind this thing?
You can. It does provide cover, but not too much.
But like simple cover, right? Like not like total cover.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
just like a person's cover.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna kick off my miracle worker,
Ooh boy.
and I'm gonna fire. I'm going to let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna overcharge my disruption rifle, so it'll be this +4, I guess -2 for the cover. So yeah, we'll see.
A +2 for get him.
All right, that is a 30 to hit.
Indeedy duty.
All right.
A lot more dice to roll now.
Yeah, I got a couple more. Hang on a second.
I'll be back in 10 minutes, guys. We can get all these dice.
Okay, there we go.
Are you going to be able to beat what Rebecca just put up on the board? Ooh, so close.
Not quite, but I got 33. No, 37.
37?
37
What are you guys doing to me here?
at the same time. Yeah,
Gilcrest.
so that's
Taking a huge sonic blast to his chest. You see this wispy hair, the nanites blowing all around him. Doesn't look great. Definitely nearly dead again.
Did that ghost want to take a attack of opportunity against me?
I don't remember if this one did on its previous. No, this one did not. So it will indeed because of that old range attack. But probably going to miss. How's a 19?
Not
Sit
gonna
with
do it.
you against the AC.
Not gonna do it.
Then let's go on to Adros Varanas.
So Adros looks around. He sees that he's surrounded by these shadow creatures, and he kind of looks down at his ultra thin longsword, and he doesn't think he can really do anything. So instead, he says, "A champion of Serenray does not fear fire. Gilcrest, I'm coming for you!" And he just goes right through the fire. He stands in it and just goes two-handed blow just to like try and cleave Darius in two.
So we provoke a couple, 3 attacks of opportunity.
Go for it. And Alinda's gonna have to roll some fire.
Yeah, you're moving through 3 spaces with fire. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I'm standing in it at the mhm.
Okay. Well, the fire can damage you, correct? You're not immune to fire, right?
Yeah, I'm immune to fire. No, I have fire resistance, but it's fine.
So why don't Rebecca, you roll those 3
Okay.
dice?
I feel really bad about this,
Please,
but
alright.
okay.
It's what, 2d6? Oh, geez.
17,
Rolling rocks.
14 plus 7.
It's 3d6 now. What?
Oh, good lord.
Guys, I have a lot of health. We're fine.
He's fine.
Good point. So only 38 points of fire damage. Let me roll some attacks of opportunity, which I totally meant to forget on Alindra and take on Adros. I believe all 3 of these are indeed going to hit, which means I get lots more damage dice. Wow, nearly max damage. 23 points of damage from these attacks. You're moving through the fire, moving through the smoke of these monsters, multiple hands reaching out, clawing, moving through your chest past the supposed Serenray symbol on your armor. Taking a little bit of damage, but get to make an attack. See what you got.
It's right here. This is it. Boom. That's a 34 to hit and 38 points of damage.
He's a very Yes! It's like if everyone shoots at him, he's gonna go down. And wow, we're still in combat because we still got these very spooky shades to deal with. Raimi Quindar, what do you got?
So I'm no longer shaken, correct? Because you said that his voice thing was controlling that.
Yes, I won't lie to you. You're pretty sure now that you're not hearing it, that you'll be able to shake it off by next turn.
Okay.
But right now you are still indeed shaken.
Okay.
For what that's worth.
I was just curious. So I think what I'm going to do is cast Explosive Blast here.
So back behind a couple of these.
Yes, behind
shades.
the shading creatures down the hallway in front of me, so that no one, including my furry friend Knack, will get injured.
That doesn't sound like the Raimi I know. The Raimi I know would say, damn it all, and hit all 4 of them and Knack.
Look, that maybe 25 episodes ago, that may have been true.
So this is
Aw,
the fire.
thanks, buddy.
Fire damage reflex half. So let me roll reflex for both these guys. So first the one to the north. And what's the DC I'm trying to hit here? This reflex.
I believe it's 19.
Yeah, that I rolled roll 14 on the dice. That's a fail. And the second one, I need to roll higher than that. Another natural one. Quote unquote full damage, and this will indeed be half as well. You're blasting
33 is the initial damage, and half that's what, 16?
Sounds good to me. So even more on this one that you've exploded, you've shocked, and a little more to this guy who's not been hit yet. Taking us to the top of turn 3. We're only at turn 3 of this combat.
Oh my
Knack,
gosh.
Feldspar.
Alindra, what photon attunement are you to this coming turn?
You know what turn 3 means.
Okay, so
Come on over, Knack!
Wibbity wham wham wazzle, I'm getting the prunk out of here. Knack is going to he's just gonna run. I don't know how far I need to run, but I'm going to run as far as I can. Is this right here where I have moved close enough to get out of your way, Alindra?
So that will only provoke one attack of opportunity because all these other guys are trying to kill Adros. He's going to the shade down here. Going to try and make it. That is, I think, just a hit.
Well, so keep in mind, I do have the mobility feat, which adds +4 to my resistance when it comes to attacks of opportunity.
You mother pronker. That will be a miss then.
Yes!
Because I think I just rolled, what was it, 26?
Mobility paying off big.
Take that, ghosts!
Yeah, mobility.
So with that said, I am going to, of course, am I gonna spin an RP? Yeah, I'm gonna spin an RP. Get him! On the whole lot over here. I think the only one I'm gonna miss is the one that's in the room with Andis by itself.
I got him.
And and I am going to take aim at the one that is just to the east of me with the blue dot with my Hailstorm Zero pistol.
All right, this is the one that just now has taken some damage from Raimi's attack. Go ahead and make that attack.
So that is a 24 to attack and 13 damage, which with the Ghost Killer does full damage, assuming I hit. Did I hit?
That is a hit.
Yeah,
So the cold energy from your gun indeed freezes up about half of its body, and you see bits and pieces of it kind of chipping away into nothingness, kind of like evaporating into smoke. That is your turn. On their turn, these guys are obviously going to just move right in and try and trap a Knack, trap a Raimi. This one that is in the wall is going to move forward, going to go for Adros, and we've still got one on Andis. This guy is going to try and make a double attack against Andis. I've rolled really poorly, so I'm pretty sure these are misses. Oh boy. And I gotta try my luck. Let's try a double attack on Adros. Ooh, there's a 19 on the dice, and a 16 on the dice. I still think this one might be a miss. Your EAC again, sir?
26.
Okay, so one hit for 5 damage, and this other one's gonna attack you as well. That is a hit. 5 from the first one, and 5 from the second one. Let's do one attack versus Raimi. One attack versus Old Knack. I believe this is going to be a miss against Raimi. A hit against Knack. Doesn't like being shot with something that can do full damage to it. 5 points of damage to you as well. Taking us to Alindra's turn.
Alindra takes a glance back at Adros with a knowing glance and telepathically says, "I'm sorry to do this to you." She takes 5 steps back, or 5 feet back, and supernovas all over the place.
As you do that, Adros yells out, "It's because I missed with those nukes, isn't it?"
Call back last episode.
So I'm sorry to do this prior to with your turn. Are the walls going to affect how this works?
No, not really. If you want to turn this into a 15-foot chrono, you can hit the one that is on the bridge as well. It will get a bonus to its reflex save for going through like the door and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I assumed that it would be a 15-foot range so that I could get 3 of them. I will not be able to reach the ones with Raimi and Knack right now.
Yes, because they did way too good of a job putting damage on these guys. They made them angry. So I've got to make some reflex saves. Looks like Ed Ross has made his.
Ooh, I rolled a 19.
Ooh, that'll do. I rolled, well, you rolled 19 on your dice, but 26. I've rolled a 15 on the dice. 21 for this one, up by Andis. What is the DC?
DC is 20 for half.
So that one, that makes sense. This one's taken half and also a quarter because of its ability. And let's do these two down here. This one rolled a natural 19, and this one a natural 14. So this one here on the left has passed. This one here on the right has failed. Let's do some damage. How about?
Okay. All right. Supernova time.
I'm scared.
36.
36.
38.
38.
Get them still on everybody.
Thanks, Drew.
So half is 19.
Yeah.
This one has exceeded, not taken too much. This one that has failed, taken a good bit. And the one up by Andis, only taking a little bit of that damage, bringing us to Andis. Your turn. You got one right in front of you, taking a little bit of photon damage, some solar damage from out in the hallway. You hear a massive boom. What would you like to do?
I am going to try to decide if tracking it's worth it.
Yours is the only one that does not have get 'em on it right now.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to track it.
Got it.
And then I'm going to overcharge shoot.
Alrighty.
Okay. So this is going to be +4 to this attack. Or, well, no, sorry. This is going to be +2 to this attack. Okay. That's going to be a 33 to hit.
A hit.
All right. And let me roll some extra dice here.
What's the
So
total?
that's going to be 26 total. So I guess half of that.
13. Got it written down. It's still coming at you. Edros, Varanus, your turn. Two of them in front of you.
Dross is gonna swift action pull the plasma doshko out of the gloves, letting go the longsword. He doesn't think it's probably gonna help against shadowy fiends.
Snap.
And then we're gonna attack twice, one against each. So first attack, add a +2 or -2 technically. Against the shadowy creature that's directly in front of it.
Gotcha.
And that's gonna be a 27.
That is a hit.
That's gonna be 25 points.
All right.
Damage.
And half of that, it's still up. Second attack.
All right, going against his buddy that's right next to him.
Oh, dividing them up.
Yep. Oh, that's a 28.
Also a hit.
Mm-hmm. For 24 points of damage, otherwise known as 12.
Just about the same amount there, yeah.
Yeah, those are very consistent rolls.
Alrighty, you're dinking all these guys down. Raimi Quindar, we are back to you. This one is nearly almost got you in the corner. You got a little bit of maneuvering space there. What do you want to do?
Spend a resolve point and appear 25 feet behind it.
Bloop. Jumping out of existence.
And then I'm going to cast Magic Missile, which will be full damage because they are 4 bolts.
That is indeed what's going to do it.
So that is 15 points of damage.
Right. Ooh, boy. And your magical teleportation does not count as movement, right?
It's a move action, I believe.
Okay, then we're actually only you can only do the first two.
Oh, that's right.
Dice here.
So that's 11 points.
Okay, this one, first one, not looking too good. You see only about half of its original material still there. It is much more gossamer, much more sheen than the others. You can see through it a little bit better. Turn number 4, Mac Feldspar. We're back up to you.
How
2 of them on you now.
how much space do I have above the heads of these critters for jetpack space and tight quarters?
None. This is a starship. There's very little.
Do these guys have legs I can duck under?
You can try and do a move through them or past them, but they will get possible attacks of opportunity if you fail an acrobatics check.
Yes, but I get +4 for those acrobatics checks if they're a certain size because I'm an Isoki.
That is true.
I would like to do that to try to duck under this cat right here. Might I roll an acrobatics check?
Oh, please do.
Oh, it's a 14.
All right. It's not going to be enough. It stops you. You cannot move, and it does get attack of opportunity. Eventually, I will roll a natural 20, but I will not this attack. Your EAC again?
My EAC is 22, but I have a +4 for attacks of opportunity because of my mobility feat.
Right. I don't know if that would be in effect because you actually technically didn't move anywhere. But regardless, that is a miss.
Yes.
A miss. You can still make a standard action if you'd like.
I would like to point my Hailstorm Zero pistol at point blank range at this cat and fire with Get 'em.
Oh boy.
I do have a rules question. Since I'm around the corner, I would like to if I used an RP, would that affect the two in the hallway with the Lindra and Adras, or would that only affect the two that I am staring at?
It's auditory, so I think everyone within auditory range will be affected.
Well then, guess what, Patrick? You know what I'm going to do?
Burn an RP.
Spending that RP, baby. Hailstorm Zero pistol, get 'em.
Making another attack of opportunity.
Oh no.
Oh, both of you.
I was about to say, I missed on mine, but you missed a little bit worse,
This is
which
not
means
fair.
natural 1 on the dice. Roll for a critical fail effect, and this is going to be
This is not fair.
submitted by Reagan. It's called "Oh Come On" for this ranged critical fail. You can find these on our website, the lower right hand corner, if you want to have your own crit fails in your game. The energy version of this is your energy focus module on your weapon pops open, allowing a blast of said energy to arc into your face. You take 1d4 non-lethal damage, but you are dazed and blinded until your next turn. Dazed and blinded until the end of your next turn.
These things don't get anything for natural ones. Why do I get something for a natural one? Prunk and prunk.
Oh, man.
You don't know how to use this crazy ancient Kishali weapon, and you like press the wrong button on it at the wrong time.
So I have to roll a d4 for damage? Is that what you said?
Nah, roll it. One point of non-lethal. That's hardly anything, but ooh, those conditions. Blinded, not gonna be good. Dazed.
Dazed is you can take no actions. 0.
Oh boy, but also blinded means you got some negatives to a few things. Ooh, yeah. So let's go ahead. That is your turn. It is their turn. Got 2 of these guys on top of you, and I think it's time that they just start making a bunch of attacks on the weak Nexus rack left in a corner by himself by Rainy Quindar. Let's go ahead and roll some d4. Oh boy, I rolled awful. So bad. Against a blind Nexus rack. All right, so these actually I think are just misses as well. Wow, can't roll very well today. I rolled 11, a 3, a 12, and 1. Let's go on to a whole bunch that want to kill at draws. Let's do some more like the draws.
Tonight the universe doesn't want to kill Knack, and I'm okay with that universe.
But so just a point of clarity, you are considered flat-footed if you are blinded. So you do get a -2.
Flat-footed does give it to you, but I still think your armor class is 22. Is that what you said? EAC?
Yes.
So one of these does hit. I think this 12 is a hit, so
Thanks, Chibert.
all of Chibert, I love you. You're my favorite player. 6 points of damage, and I need to do a ton of attacks versus Adros. Well, I'm just gonna roll ones all day.
Nice rolls, Patrick. Oh, that's a 6-1-1-7. Oh my lord!
Believe it or not, these guys are a lot less combat effective than you, and the dice betrayed me. 2 attacks versus Andis. It's gotta happen, right?
Oh man!
It's happening. Natural 2, natural 7.
Natural toots.
I'm just gonna
natural toots
on this turn. That is, I don't know if you're counting at home. 10 misses. Oh no, 9 misses. And Alindra Valis, we're back to you. Please, let's start clearing up the board here.
All right, I'm going to try. So I'm going to activate my haste circuit.
Ooh, boy.
And as I do so, I'm going to climb right over Darius Gilcrest's body and activate gravity boost so that I can spider climb along the wall and to the other side of the shadow monster so that I am flanking with Adros.
No. This will provoke just from this one that you're climbing over, but the way I'm rolling, Don't think you have to worry too much about it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ooh, hey, there's a good one. 16 on the dice, so that will actually hit. Take them a little bit more damage here. 8 points of damage, max damage.
So even though I'm on the wall, it provokes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'd say your back is turned to it, so you're giving it like the juiciest part of an Elendravalis, ready to get slashed. This one's used as attack of opportunity and standard action.
Yeah. And now I am going to use my solar weapon. Let's see if this actually hits this time. It's a 26, 28 with get 'em.
28
That's a
with
hit.
get 'em.
Awesome. And that's going to do 32 damage.
Yes,
34
because
damage.
it's got special get 'em on it.
So 17 points of damage on the half. It is still up, but this one is bloodied as well. You see about half of its mass, its evil dark energy has been dissipated. That takes us to Andis 147. You've got one you're dealing with yourself up here. What do you like to do?
I'm gonna withdraw away from it. And I'm sort of like running around the edge of the bridge here and kind of running around the outside, and I'm gonna take a shot during my runabout.
Oh no, please just stand still and let me get attacks of opportunity.
No. All right, that's gonna be a 27 to hit.
That's a hit.
All right, that's gonna be 28 points of damage.
Whoa!
14.
So 14 on the half. Yep, it's bloodied as well. You guys are all taking on like one target yourself. On to Adros Varanas. Turn 4. What you got, Tyler?
Oh, well, now that I have my flanking buddy with me, I feel like I have to make 2 attacks against this guy that's right in front of me. He dared to attack the wall climbing Elendra, so he's got to go, or it's got to go.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is. First attack, Plasma Doshko to the face. Oh yeah, that's a hit. That's going to be 25 points of damage.
Let's do math together. Half that is 12.
Yep. And
Still up.
second attack is gonna be. Oh yeah, that's another hit, and that's gonna be. That's a 19 would be the full damage, but
Yeah, still half of that, but that is enough, and you bring the Doshko down through it, and it just seems to poof out of existence, kind of staining the walls black where you've shattered it out of existence. One down, 4 to go.
Pronking, finally.
that's gross. I don't like how these things die.
Yeah. Remy Quindar, back down to you.
I'm going to cast another round of Magic Missile at the same shadow creature I have been sparring with.
All right, full damage this time.
That's 12 points. Does it have get him on it?
It should have get 'em on it, yes.
All right,
Yep.
so that's 14 points.
Oh, so much math. Oh, it's so close, but that is a still dangerous combatant. Top of the turn order, Knack. Still got these 2 bearing down on you. Knack Feldspar, turn 5. What is happening with your character?
I'm dazed and blinded and probably dead.
It would be great if you guys didn't agree to this critical fail deck venture that we were on. You killed like the one character that could critically fail in this fight, and I would have rolled half these ones, I'm sure, for Darius Gilcrest. That brings us to their turn. I mean, I can't imagine it would do anything but try and destroy you, take you out of existence. And this one's gonna come for Ramy, who's almost killed it. We've got one between Adros and Elendra that might just stand still and do some attacks, and this one on Andis is gonna move and make an attack. Single attack. Maybe I get a little better luck with these. Yeah, all right, 16 against Andis EAC. That is gonna be a hit. And Bert, 5 points of damage. Oof. This one does have the ability to attack on Adros. Let's try it. Oh, 5 on the first attack dice. Hey, there we go. 19.
Hey.
That's a hit. Still no natural 20 for your poor GM in episode 50. That is 6 points of damage. Let's do one against Knack Sizrak. This one.
Oh my.
Natural 1.
Yeah, baby.
It can't hit you.
What is going on?
And against Ramy Quindar. Another attack against you, Miles. Okay. Ooh, what is your EAC again?
26.
That is a miss. 11 on the dice. All those attacks that missed. Alindra Valis, we're back to you.
All right. Okay, so seeing that Adros clearly has things handled where we are, am going to go to help rescue Knack, provoking an attack of opportunity, I'm sure. I see that he is in trouble.
You just keep dividing up all of your attacks.
Yeah,
An extra one.
Well,
I mean, we don't have much to worry about.
yeah. we can kind of move freely.
Shut up, Miles. Oh boy. Oh boy. I can't wait until the next time you fight these things. They will be a special GM build just for you all.
They're getting the advanced template.
Yeah, natural 2 hits? What are you talking about? Go ahead, Alindra. You got an attack here.
All right, yeah, I'm going to activate my haste circuit again. I forgot to use my double attack on my last turn, but I'm not going to forget this time.
Moving all around this board.
This does not have get him on it because Knack is blinded, right?
Yeah, need to be able to
staggered or whatever.
see and be able to do stuff.
All right, so that's going to be a 15 to hit. 15 to hit?
That's a miss.
Yeah, figured. All right, let's try again. That's that's better. All right, so
better than a 3 on the dice.
26 to hit.
Hit.
Does that hit?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. So that's going to be 37 damage.
37. So half of that, the old 18, all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Doing math. This one also bloodied the one before. Neck. Sizrak, Andis 147, back to you in the bridge, fighting along these consoles, the pilot's chair. What you got?
I'm just sort of like running back and forth and like doing the thing where like you're trying to keep it on the other side of the chair from you.
You're like, hey,
and now I'm over here. So I run back over to the other side of the bridge as a withdraw, and I pull the trigger and realize that I'm out of ammo. I just looked down at my like ammo tracker, and I was just like, crap, I'm out of ammo.
Stop boosting all your attacks, buddy. And that will take us to Adros. You still got one of these things in front.
All right, it's double attacking time. Or well, we don't have get 'em. You know what? It's single attacking time.
Okay.
Changed my mind. And 25.
Oh, good that you did, because that's a hit.
Sweet. That's going to be 24, otherwise known as 12 points of damage.
All right, bloodied, and Remy Quindar, one of them, on top of you again.
Cast an old magic missile.
Oh, okay. Do you want to move first, or take that attack of opportunity?
Does he have to get him on it?
Nope.
Knack is dazed, so no.
Oh, that's right.
That wouldn't really matter for it attacking you.
No, but I was, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Okay.
Okay, please, evil God of the Devourer, give me strength.
I'm gonna get a natural 20 on this.
Oh boy, it is an 11 on the dice. That is not EAC. These guys are a lot better when they have Darius Gilcrest boosting them
their stats,
and giving you guys negatives. Go ahead and roll those sweet damage die.
All right, 12 points of damage.
Not too much. That is enough to drop it, though.
Bam!
4 hit points. So, 2 down, 3 to go. Turn 6. Knack Feldspar, you're back in the fight.
Knack is angry. So angry that he activates his vocal modulator to put a Clint Eastwood voice on right now. Boy. What's he gonna say? He's gonna say, get him. He's gonna spin that RP to have that RP attack everything. He's gonna pull out the Hailstorm Zero pistol with the Ghost Killer Fusion. He's gonna roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh boy, that's a hit.
That's a 31 to hit for 14 damage.
And you shoot this thing in the head. It's dead as well. Number 3 dead. A little 1-2 wombo combo from a Knack and an Alindra. 2 left here. This one is going to move up to Andis. Try this single attack again, please. I'm running out of chances here. No, 5 on the dice.
Hiding behind the chair, my greatest strength.
Let's do a single attack against it. No, 9 on the dice. A miss. A palpable miss. Alindra, you've got one still in the hallway that you can get to. It's your turn.
All right. Can I run through? I can't run through it, right?
You would get an attack of opportunity to move around it.
I was just going to go and save Andis or help Andis.
He's fine. Take out the other one.
All right. Yeah, I'll just run up to the one in the hallway next to Adros and use my solar weapon.
Single attack?
Yeah.
No haste circuit. That is a hit. How much damage is that?
That's 36 damage, right?
36
damage.
18 on the half. It's still up. Also bloodied. Bloodied. Andis, 147. You got this one in front of you, and I'm reloading.
Yeah, I'm quick drawing out a battery and I'm slapping it in there, and I'm just pointing it straight at this thing's something like a head, and I overcharge and I blast it right in the dome and the noggin. Yeah, that's gonna be a 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
All right,
Nice.
That's gonna be
A good boot.
That's 34 points of damage.
Dang.
17 on the half. Yep, it's also bloodied. Oh boy, these guys not looking too good. They don't have many turns in their future. Edros, this one right in front of you. What you got?
All right. Alindra is back in the fight with me. I hear Knack giving me the get 'em. I'm going to take a guarded step. I'm going to get in flanking position with my best flanking buddy and lay some hurt. And the hurt's going to come in the form of a natural one. Natural one.
But the good thing about this is not a critical fail because you've rolled higher than its armor class with a 1. Congratulations!
Oh.
We don't have to pull
there
up the
you
deck
go.
as per the agreed upon rules. If that modified number isn't enough, just for fun, let's see what it would have been.
Yeah, I like this.
Oh boy.
What do we got?
Just breaks your weapon. This would have made a lot of sense. You just hit the wall of the singularity and breaks your plasma rifle or plasma Doshko. Yes, but that's a miss. Taking us to Raimi. Your turn.
All right, so Raimi he can see that old boy
Yep, right down the hallway from you.
that Alindra and Adros are attacking, so he's going to cast Magic Missile on that guy.
Alrighty, another magic missile.
It's a magic missile.
Ooh, max damage magic missile.
Max damage.
On every single. Wow.
I'm not even gonna count this out. That thing is dead as a doornail. Yes! All 3 of those force missiles battering into it, and yeah, it just turns into smoke, covers Adros's armor, and that one dead.
These are gross.
Turn 7, that felt far. There's not many of these things left. You hear fighting going on the bridge.
Knack is going to move around to as far as he can. And through. Can I see through the door there?
Yeah.
Andis, you got one on you. Get him. And he's going to fire at the last remaining ghosty with his Hailstorm Zero pistol.
You're telling me.
Ooh.
For a 29 to hit
That is a hit.
for 9 points of damage.
Not a ton, but oh boy, that's a lot. Oh boy, it has so few hit points left, but Knack, you've given me the best present for episode 50. One more chance to roll a natural 20 on Andis. Okay, come on. I'm doing 2 attacks. It's my last shade. It's coming. Here's the first one. 7 on the dice. Gonna be a miss. Second attack. One more chance at glory. Oh, 4. It was so close to both the 18 on the dice and the 20. 2 misses. Alindra, your turn. Please just stab this thing.
It's inspiring the way that this thing believes in itself so much. But Alindra is going to walk right up to it and use her solar weapon.
Oh boy. So I think don't roll a 1.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
You rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1.
It is a miss. Unfortunately, natural 1 will be a miss, but it is not a critical miss. Same thing as last time. You're fighting against its KAC.
Why am I the only one that's got to roll stuff against the critical fail deck this game?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're just there on that bubble. But that brings us to Andis. Maybe you can end the fight.
All right, I'm gonna
Not move and let me get an attack of opportunity. One last shot.
exactly. I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 shots on this thing. Here we go.
Boy. All right,
You
let me
wanna
get my
go ahead?
attack first. 16. Yay! I did a little bit of damage. 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Now make your massive attacks. Let's see how overkill this turn is. Oh boy, that's a hit.
Yep.
Oh no!
Ooh, natural 1.
Well, hopefully
Buddy.
the first attack kills it.
It does. We're out of combat.
Yeah.
So many natural ones. Dang.
Yeah,
That's wild.
Definitely, I think broke a record for natural ones rolled in one combat.
guys, I'm gonna rework this entire AP volume. I'm gonna need to hit a little bit more often there in the future.
I mean, to be fair, this was a kind of a rare battle for us. Usually, you're kind of one rolling rocks, and 2 have put people who far outclass us.
I got really cocky at the beginning there when I rolled 2 natural 17s on the initiative turn order, but I don't think I rolled much higher than that the rest of the battle.
Yeah, I think it would have been very different if Jingle Jangles had survived longer. Like if we hadn't like flushed him out of that room, like
Oh no, you guys
that could have gotten nasty.
had a very good plan, believe it or not. Kill the leader. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, so we're out of combat, and I mean, you get. It is definitely a dead Darius Gilcrest, but like a robotic voice kind of like comes out of its throat. And you can just hear it. It sounds like he's croaking and saying,
Null 9 will end you. Do you understand? She'll end us all.
he expires right in front of you.
Well,
And-
yeah, we'll just have to see about that. And Andis just goes ahead and puts a slug through the dead Darius Gilcrest.
Flunk.
Just like nobody's gonna fix this body. Nope.
I would.
Nope.
I would recommend just chopping them into little pieces, fleshing them out the airlock. The old space send-off. A number of items on him, wearing Kasathan Microcord Mark III, and you see there's a infrared sensor and a haste circuit involved. Not that he got a chance to use that one ever. He has one of these cultist weapons you haven't seen since back on Castrovel. It's a liquidator disintegrator pistol, and there is a couple
Dibs.
batteries there. A tactical spear, this kind of like walking stick, and Raimi investigating his throat attached, what looks like to his vocal cords, is this piece of very high-tech nano technology, a cybernetic augmentation. I can tell you outside of the game, it's called disquieting nanites. Definitely some kind of scavenged tech kind of bolted onto him, kind of a cult of the devour kind of operation. And from the description of, I can tell you, if anyone is interested in this, it works kind of like the opposite of Get 'em, where you can put out this speech to affect enemies, and if they can hear or see you, that they have to make that will save that you guys did, and they get a -2 from Shaken if they fail that will save. Pretty cool.
Yoink.
Nice.
So you all out of combat. What do you want to do now?
Search the ship.
Take all his stuff.
Yeah, I want to take that little voice nanite thing.
Yeah, that'll take a little bit of time to install if that's something you're interested in.
I'd like a
I
10-minute rest, personally.
You could do
Yeah.
that as well.
I'm interested in the haste circuit if I could get that thrown into my armor.
Yeah, if you got space for it, that's pretty easy too.
I do.
I want to take
So you guys want to
pistol and his armor and everything else of value.
spend some time searching the ship?
You better
Yeah.
believe I do.
So you find the crew pretty messed up. It looks like they do not care for the ship very much, but find a battered but functioning suit of spider harness powered armor.
Ooh.
So a set of power armor. Total of 5 Mark III shock grenades and 8 Mark II screamer grenades. Throughout different, it looks like they might have just handed them out to some of these cultists, and you find them like on their persons, maybe in a couple of lockers. In one chamber, you find quite a gruesome image in the back of the Singularity. Weeks old, strung up and splayed out, body of a Kish warrior. It looks like maybe if their journey was about as long as yours, that this Kish was kept alive, perhaps ritualistically tortured along the way. These small accretion discs cut into its flesh. But as well, you find other cultist bodies, maybe a Lashunta, a human, given the similar treatment. It seems like this was their murder room, or perhaps a place of worship. They sacrificed people to the Devourer. That's about it for items that you find on the ship. What else would you like to do?
I would like to try to access the ship's logs. I recognize this as having the same name as Braskin's ship that he escaped on, and I'd like to find out what happened to him.
It is indeed a very old ship, a modified A-Tech bulwark ship. Diving into the ship's communication logs, you get a last kind of message that was sent from the Singularity in its cache. It is to a shuttlecraft. In planet, you see the hologram of an android appear. A shock of pink hair, armor studded in spikes and sharp teeth. She looks up from the ship's controls, and you can sense in the hologram recording figures moving behind her, maybe several other cultists on board her vessel in the background. And she says,
"If we can get the computer systems online, the stellar degenerator will be ours. When we have the weapon, it will usher in the end of all things and bring forth the Devourer to swallow the stars. The Ahsoki Zaz has no idea how to repair the busted circuit board on the console, but this Eltreth told us where we can procure a spare. Jangly Man, you take the Singularity, patrol the system. I don't want any uninvited guests showing up and ruining our fun like on Eox. Bring Malice's children and guard the ship. I will contact you once we have the control board and have the console up and running. 9 out."
That's the end of the message. Knack, your ears perk up when you hear the Ahsoki Zaz, as you have a Ahsoki cousin named Zaz, whom your family hasn't heard from in a couple years, along with his sister Zix.
He was always kind of an outcast, but let me see what I can dig up about his relationship to the family.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you've ever met her. You've got a pretty large extended crime family, right?
Yeah, it's something that I would have to check the records for.
As previously, go back through the old Filodex.
Yeah, he's got a -5 to the DC to remember that, right?
Yeah, it's because they're criminals, right? Yeah, so it might have been that they're a little bit younger, but they're both maybe a second cousin, kind of removed your mother's side, and you remember them both being gearheads, like mechanics. Is this something you want to share with everyone else?
Yeah, so these, so just to let you guys know, Ahsoki Engineering, pretty good. And we're gonna come across potentially some of my family members. Just want to let you guys know about that. They're extended family. It's okay if we need to take them out. These things happen in business as in life. But just be on your safeguard yourselves, because there might be some traps around. There might be some traps on this ship, thanks to them. But if not on this ship, definitely something we're going to run across in the future.
I'm just making a note here. Place traps everywhere. Got it.
Patrick, can I get a sense of... I mean, I know I haven't seen the actual system that they're working with, but if this was like a rare circuit board, can I know sort of how rare a thing like that might be? Like, what sort of time scale are we working with here before they can find something like that?
Yeah, no. I mean, it sounds like it has ancient Kishali technology that they might be trying to repair. It does seem from what you've gathered here that a shuttle has gone down to this planet beneath you, the one that has an atmosphere, has plant life that you've seen.
I have an idea. Which is not really an original idea. It's something that the free captains used to do. When we could capture vessels, we would then
especially colony vessels, we would then send a message down to the colony saying that the ship had received heavy damage and we would have to land for repairs. And then we would take the ship in and everybody would come out to help out with the ship's damage, and then we would attack them. I'm wondering if we shouldn't send a message to this 09 lady, just an audio message, saying that we fought the Starfinders and we won, but the ship has been, withstood or has taken massive damage and needs to land for repairs. And then we could sneak down to the planet without them, knowing about us, and then we could take them by surprise.
Right. Could we pull the transponder out of this ship and then sort of broadcast from the Drift Rider as though we were the Singularity?
I don't know. It's going to be a pretty hard engineering check, and you've done it.
Hooray!
DC 30. Oh, it's done. No, that would be some pretty heavy computer engineering work. It would take some time, but it's something you can patch together.
Hey, Patrick, did you see what I just rolled for my engineering check?
Oh boy, natural 1. Oh well, it was a good try. Oh wait, no. What is this?
It was a 40.
4? Oh, 40. Got it.
40. Yeah.
Tuck that back in your pocket. I said you had it already.
Okay.
No, if that's something you want to try, do you want to just before we get there, keep going into the computer system? There's more to uncover.
Yeah, I want to dig deep. I want to figure out who this Braskin fellow ended up being.
Deeper into the computer files, you uncover some pretty old segments, just fragments of what looks like a vast section of the computer system that might have been wiped clean at one point, but they are marked Dr. Jiro Braskin. Opening them up, it looks like they are maybe previously redacted military files, and they seem to be about some kind of genetic project called Sunsplicer. Opening up one of the video files, you see a very technical bio-augmentation and genetic splicing data kind of come up on the screen, and what looks like experiments on Vesk DNA. It seems the crux of this was the use of an unknown energy source called graviton radiation in order to breed the perfect Vesk soldier. There's a short video. Clicking it shows a small, sterile laboratory with a few small tables of technological devices, and in the center, a large table with a Vesk female tied down on top of it. Braskin comes into view and says, "We picked this one up with a pirate outfit operating in the supply lines, raiding the outskirts of the diaspora. She'll hopefully be the first patient to take the genetic graft and see some more results before she dies. Time is 0300, and I sign back on when this procedure is complete with the patient named Chikaradun Varanus. Braskin out."
Andis looks over at Edris. Did Edris see this?
I imagine if you guys were all there on the bridge.
Edris, I'm sorry.
I don't know much about my family. My focused mostly on military, but I've never heard of this. Keep going.
There is a lot of technical data along with these videos, but like I said, they're all scraps. But it seems like a large amount of information was scrubbed and then transferred to a data pad recently, in the last few days. The digital fingerprints marking it as owned by one Null 9.
Patrick, did Braskin look older than I recalled him from my vision?
Yeah, he's a pretty old man in this video.
Okay. So this is not... Okay. My only concern is that this might have been something that 146 was helping him with. But...
Yeah, didn't see him in that video, but...
Okay. What all those technical stuff mean? What was he trying to do?
It seems as though he was attempting to perfect the Vesk genetic structure for military purposes. And just sort of looks over at Edris, maybe with like a little uncertainty, and says... They may have done just that.
I do not even know what to make of this. I always thought that I left the Veskarium to make my own way, so that I could perform feats and spread my name through my own power. But now I come to find out maybe my power is something given to me as if I was a guinea pig. I need to be alone.
Do you guys want to head on back to the Drift Rider?
Yeah.
Can we take this ship and tractor beam or anything to just claim it as our own?
You can. You did destroy it, so it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So
Yeah,
that's what
I
happened
feel
when you launch tactical nukes at it, you guys.
I feel like we ought to leave the Drift Rider with the goblins and pretend that we are who we say we are.
I don't know that we have the UPBs to fix this one.
Yeah, it's dead in the water.
Like it's not flyable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Tactical nukes.
Yeah, we goofed it up pretty good.
Yeah.
Send the goblins out with some duct tape to tape it to the bottom of the
Yeah,
Drift
no,
Rider.
they can fly this thing, right? You see them stick a leg out like the back, and they're like doggy paddling and kicking it forward.
Like, look at how perfectly they're orbiting that planet. It's just like around the planet.
Right. So, if you guys are all done with the singularity, when I get back to the Drift Rider, you go back down through the open gate in the lower deck, through the docking bay. But you see something here tucked away in the back corner of the room you didn't see before. Large crate with an old, dusty Starfinder insignia on the side, with an impression in the size of a star in its kind of locking mechanism, and a thick layer of dust on it. Brushing off the dust, you find on the side label that reads Starfinder Supply Crate. It's locked, but it does seem on this plate in front it would fit your Starfinder insignia perfectly.
Alindra puts her insignia to it.
Yeah, Andis puts their middle finger to it.
Nax senses modem on the crate.
It is all a crate. It is not a mimic about to eat you.
Full of grenades. Oh no.
If you do put your crest into the mechanism, you hear what sounds like a magnetic lock inside the lid coming to life. And you see it hinge open slightly, crack forming right there at the top, and a yellow glow emanating from within as you gather around to look inside. Who's opening it up?
Alindra.
Pushing the hinged top back, you look down and you see a great big pile of to be continued.
However, did we know?
Yeah, we'll find out. That's it for this week's episode, technically, but we'll find out the winners of our August Fan Challenge Supply Crate next week on the cast.
Hooray! Thanks in advance, listeners.
We think.
I'm pretty sure someone submitted just 30,000 credits worth of acid, so it could be.
Yeah, I saw somebody say it's like 300 grenades, but like all the pins are glued to the top.
So that's going to be the end of this week's episode. But Drew and I sat down with the players and the GM over at the Experience Points podcast a few weeks back, and that's going to be our crypt bit for this episode. So do not miss that.
I know. I can't wait to hear it.
They're doing a homebrew Starfinder campaign, unlike us, but like us, they are also playing online. So it's a blast to get a chance to chat with them, and that is happening on the other side of this ending. What do you guys think? Episode 50.
Fun times.
Yeah.
We got 50 more in us to get to 100 next year.
We might have 49 more. I don't know about 50.
Yeah, it's good. Nice even. 99.
If we get another 50, we get syndicated, though.
Thank you, everyone, for playing with me for 50 episodes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Patrick.
We'll see you next time this year.
Yeah.
And until then, say have a great night, everybody.
Have a great night.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Crit bit commencing in 3, 2, 1. Crit bit initiated.
Hey, everyone, and welcome back. Show's not over yet. We are here for another crit bit. This evening after the episode, we like to unwind when we're not playing Starfinder and talk about Starfinder and just continue to do so in a little bit of a show after show. I'm Patrick. I'm your GM here on Cosmic Crit. You've probably heard my voice before, around. And joining me is one of our players, Drew. Hey, Drew. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great because once again we're joined for the first time by some other folks playing Starfinder out in the world. The majority of the cast of Experience Points podcasts. Say hello to Kelric, Punder, and Miu. Hi everyone.
Hello.
How are you all doing tonight?
Really
I'm doing
good.
all right.
Doing great.
Yeah, super excited for this.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I think we first started chatting online last year, maybe, about talking about Starfinder, talking about podcasting, and it has taken a while to get you on the show. Very difficult to nail down with your busy schedules. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting us. And yeah, I wrote to you guys before I had the whole cast together to ask questions about just general podcasting and editing. So you guys were so kind and just welcoming that I've just been a huge fan of your shows and you guys. So.
Thank you.
I was definitely in teacher mode because the best way to learn how to do something is to pretend know enough to explain it to someone else. I definitely had only been editing for like 2 or 3 months at that point, so I was still very novice myself, and hopefully this audio comes out nice enough to prove that I've learned something in about the year it's taken me to get to this point. So that was the first time we got to speak online. But since then, you guys a few months back have started the EQ Points, Experience Points podcast, and playing with one another online like we are, which is awesome. First off, I think it is online play, something very, very different from sitting around a table, but it's still, like, I wouldn't say even more valid, but is as fun if that is the only option that you have. You all are in 3 different states, if memory serves.
That's correct.
I think, Drew, we're in 4, right?
Yeah, so take that. Ha!
Yeah.
Gotta one up us
One
there.
more.
Okay, I see how we're doing this.
All but 2 of them are like right next to each other. So, but I've always had a soft spot for people taking that plunge, recording your game sessions, and putting them out there for people to listen to. Mio, I want to congratulate you on what you've been able to do so far, not only in getting this game together, but you are 100% homebrew. Is that correct?
Yes, 100% homebrew.
So everything, if you guys go and download and listen to Experience Points right now, is something that you've created wholesale and in a pretty short amount of time, I gather?
Pretty much. To be honest, 90% of the time, I don't know what I'm doing until about 10 minutes before I do it. So,
All right. That sounds like a lot of GMs, actually.
No, really?
Not a bad thing, but it is, I mean, a courageous thing because, some people, that's what they think GMing is. You never know what's going to happen when you sit down at the table. And for that reason, it's, there's a big hurdle into jumping into GMing. Can you tell us if there are listeners out there that haven't heard an episode of EQ Points? What are they getting into if they jump into your guys' podcast?
So it's I always say it's a bunch of queer people gallivanting about the universe, committing shenanigans. Which is pretty much where we're at, but you're getting into just following a group of people as they try to unravel some deep intrigue. It starts with them getting some revenge on someone that did them all wrong, and then trying to find out who their mysterious benefactor is. And currently they're on a search for the adventure hook.
That's a great, assemble the party kind of storytelling mechanic, and it's been used in so many great pieces of classic literature. Isn't that the Count of Monte Cristo? Like everyone comes together and it's like, you gotta get these guys.
I was actually pretty inspired by Curse of the Crimson Throne. The first little bit that you play there was my inspiration for that, because I had just been running that, and I was like, oh, that's a really good way to bring everyone together and give them a reason to be part of a party.
And let us keep our memories. for a change. Prison.
Yes,
we had all our
amnesia
gear.
tropes.
It's awesome.
If we weren't doing Dead Sons, I more than likely would have taken one of the amazing Pathfinder APs and just been like, what would this be like in space? It's probably important to mention that this is half the cast, so Kel and Punder, and then you also have Megan and Taylor, who aren't here this evening, but that rounds out. You have a 4-person crew, Miyu.
Yes, 4 people, 4 players.
It's such a sweet number. Mwah, so good for Starfinder.
Perfect.
Why don't real quick, the players? Why don't you guys tell us just a little bit something about your guys' PCs?
Why don't you go first, Punder?
All right. My player character is Absco Cash. They are a Verthani, and it's the race that's from the planet Versus.
Mm-hmm.
And typically they are all very much about augmentations. Absco doesn't really have many of them. They're kind of naive about the world, but they take their racial or species abilities and use them as like being a bounty hunter, investigator type person. And so they got really intertwined with the person, Gideon, who everyone kind of really hates because they got double crossed by him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And Kiel.
I play a noir named Angus Brahman. He's got a very, very terrible Scottish accent that half the time.
Good.
And he's a Solarian. And since a big part of creating experience points is that we don't see a lot of reflections of gay people in gaming, particularly on podcasts, or we didn't. We became podcasters, and all of these wonderful Twitter podcasters friended us, and suddenly I'm like, oh, there are more. Cool. So I made him pretty gay. Like he's got his moat is this giant pink thing that turns into a pink battle axe.
The battle axe is great. I love it so much.
Well, and then one of our listeners sent me this tell asking if my was it the burst power
supernova?
Mm-hmm. My supernova looked like a glittery pink bath bomb, and I'm like, it does now. So yeah,
amazing.
It's super fun.
I love noirs so much. They might be my favorite playable race in Starfinder. It's I was lucky enough to get the boon from my Starfinder Society character, and that's my main in Starfinder Society.
That gore ability just is so nice.
Oh, that's great. The movement is great. There's some other really cool ones. Unfortunately, they can't use maze cores in Starfinder Society, but just I love everything, like their backstory, everything about the noir.
I'm really excited because we have 2 noir on our crew.
Yeah.
It happened completely independent. So Taylor created her character, Phaedra, who is also noir. And so join our backstories. And between the 2 of us, we've just gotten enough time for our PCs to start making our first maze core together. So that's been super cool.
Yeah, no, I enjoy everything about them. I like that they how they tied it into some of the Minotaur lore from Pathfinder. I'm a big noir fan.
Absolutely.
Right. So I mean, we can go on about experience points, but I think best way to experience is just like jump right in. Like you guys, you can find episodes like wherever you can get podcasts, but you also have them up on your YouTube channel, right?
Mm-hmm. We have some poorly edited video up on YouTube, indeed.
No, I've been watching. They're actually quite well edited. I don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
But yeah, let's get into it. It's so rare that we get to have like a full on discussion besides maybe the people that we've been playing with about Starfinder. It's almost, I think by the time people are listening to this, the 1-year anniversary of Starfinder.
Jeez.
Yeah. How?
Right?
Feels like it just came out yesterday.
It does. It's been a very fast year. What do you guys think on this milestone about the game and your experiences with it so far? Any big insights into gaming or gaming for a crowd you'd like to share?
Okay. It's so interesting because it seems to have come at the time when tabletop role-playing game has reached this kind of surge. And so tapping into the sci-fi fantasy genre, unlike any other game has to date, has really been noticed by a lot of people. And I think it's brought a lot of excitement back into tabletop role-play gaming.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They started the planning, I think, for this right around when Paizo was like, yeah, we're going to do Pathfinder 2, and develop the rules kind of next to one another. But yeah, that was like, I think the decision probably came about 3 years ago to make this. So it's, from concept, very new. And that, like I said, is around that point where there's just this resurgence where, I don't know when it happened, but Dungeons and Dragons became like cool overnight. And I was like, what?
Right.
Where? I blame Critical Role and all these other big gamers.
Them, the Adventure Zone. Yeah.
Adventure Zone. Yeah. They're making it cool, and also just opening it up to everyone for the first time. It's out of the basement is the joke. People might still be playing in their basements, but
I'm recording in the basement right now.
Yeah, you're in the basement right now. But no, I went to an adventure show a couple weeks ago, and the audience was, I would say, vast majority female, which was amazing to see. I've been a big fan of the McElroy brothers, since the beginning. So yeah, it's all it's just such a great energy right now in gaming. And
and one of the cooler things about Starfinder in particular is the way, it's really what made me decide to do podcasting, because I was really passionate about the idea of getting an all queer cast together and playing Starfinder, because they've got different species that have, multiple, you're not stuck with a binary gender, or be asexual, or they have the serums of sex change that are, you can't use them as a weapon against someone. It's just, you can have it and it can affect you if you choose for it to, but otherwise it doesn't. So it just gave people that flexibility and felt as welcoming as we've always wanted RPGs to be. So it was a huge draw.
Yeah, from day one, they knew what they were doing, just building equality into the core rule book, which was great to see. I opened up that book and I was like, this is unlike almost any other settings in tabletop role-playing games, which was a breath of fresh air. But yeah, in addition to that, like you said, the races, I think just kind of open discussion about pronouns in various points of the adventure path, I thought was very refreshing. And also, it fulfills kind of the promise of a futuristic game where I think the vast majority of people are more concerned about, horrific alien space monsters and, philosophical questions, as opposed to, the mundane, the quotidian of, I think in Star Trek, the example was Picard. Patrick Stewart is like, would anyone mention he was bald? And they came back. It's like, in the future, no one cares. Like, it's just no one care if he.
How about how the character of Captain Picard took command of the Enterprise in his 60s?
Oh yeah.
If you do the math, that man's in his 60s when he takes command of that ship. But I digress.
That's another one as well. Yeah, age in the, I think this world has been de-emphasized, which is really nice. No sexual dimorphism among any of the species, something that they actually had to take out from Pathfinder, which is, showing them changing things up for the better. How have you all found the gameplay? Have you been really enjoying combat in particular?
I've been enjoying running it. I run so much Pathfinder.
Right.
There's just enough that's the same. Like if you've run Pathfinder, you can run Starfinder almost no problem.
I agree.
But I found it to be a lot of fun, a lot more emphasis on ranged combat and having to pay a little more attention to cover, but there aren't all these crazy floating modifiers where you're sitting there going, all right, you get +3 from this and -2 from that and +7 from this and -4 for that, and having to do 20 minutes of math to go, you get it +3.
Yeah, no. As a GM, you've got like a +2 or a +4 to give your monsters, based on cover, and then as a player, you can basically make 1 or 2 attacks to give it that plus or minus, or -4, I should say, for the full attack. But yeah, I think one of the reasons I was okay making our game, which was Pathfinder before we started Starfinder, into a podcast is because of that promise of those combats being snappier, being more action packed, and I think it's really delivered in that front. You guys have had some space combat as well. What are your thoughts on space combat?
Oh, if I never have to edit out people counting space hexes.
Don't get me started. Miles is our pilot, and he does it every time.
It's me on the show, and it sounds like I'm choreographing something like 1 and 2 and turn and 3 and turn and 2.
Oh yeah.
It's like, okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's like there's no way to make this more theater of the mind game. Like, I'm going northeast sort of now. Like, I don't know.
I found it to be, so as naval combat goes, or naval-based combat goes, this is probably one of the best systems I've seen. Which shows you how poorly naval-based combat transitions to tabletop because it is so technical.
In addition to the naval aspect of it, some things that I think are very difficult systems to replicate, like the critical damage and the shields, and diverting power and stuff like that. Very important sci-fi tropes for space combat. I think they nailed, which a lot of people have pointed out some of the inconsistencies and some of the difficulties of Starship combat, and always gloss over the fact that it feels like you're on the bridge of the Serenity or the Enterprise, or whatever ship du jour you'd like to pick, and your actions matter, whether you be engineer or on the guns. So I think in that aspect it was very successful.
I think it is one of the best. I think it is one of the best versions that I've seen for space combat, and it works exceedingly well. I think if you're on the tabletop or on if you're just playing that. As far as it goes for creating a show to put out there. It could probably use a little work, especially for an audio-based show. So we're actually been discussing and looking at possibly tweaking the system to make it a little more theatrical, just for the purpose of podcasting.
We've actually had very similar conversations about how it's very easy to see stuff when you're looking at it on the screen, but if you're not, doing the bring us about 1, 4, 2, mark 6, 7, 8, and just the sci-fi techno babble to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, we gotta get that techno babble down.
And because it's so visual, it's really hard to continue doing any sort of voice acting while you're looking at the strategy of it and what other people are doing. So, that's something that we're also talking about, is making sure that our characters continue to interact as characters rather than
deja vu, Drew.
Here's the role.
Yeah, I think we've had that same conversation. But yeah, I've heard from people playing around an actual physical table that it goes a lot faster. It's a lot more fun. You get to roll dice. You get to move around this cool board with these cool miniatures.
Yeah,
there's a lot more strategic conversation between people instead of just one person making the call for their particular thing.
Yeah,
I really do enjoy the space combat aspect of it. It just did not translate well for our first couple of episodes that we did it.
Oh, you don't gotta tell us.
In our case, Punder really drives, not to be, there. He is our pilot, but he drives the action for us. because he's the one who is strategically placing us for the rest of us to figure out what to do. And he's very, very good at that. So that's a real boon to our show, is having a pilot who's like, yeah, we want to be exactly here because I don't visualize it myself. I'm like, I don't know. Is that right? Sure.
Drew, who's going to be the pilot in season 2?
Oh, man.
The answer is Jabert. He's got a computer brain. Before we go, can we talk a little bit about maybe some homebrew elements that you, specifically Mew, have introduced into your campaign, whether here or the other games you play? Something that is completely original.
So one of my favorite bits about this homebrew campaign that I'm doing here is so in all the Starfinder games that I run, because I run seriously like 8 to 10 games a week, depending.
That's insane. That's too many.
It is, but I do it, and I have this kind of rule in my Pathfinder games that all of our games occur in the same universe, or at least parallel universes if there's 2 groups running the same AP. And so they all are happening kind of at the same time throughout Galarian. So if someone drops a character, they can pick it up in another AP, and it is canon that their character left that region of the world and went to this other region of the world.
That's fun.
Well, what Solomon, and if you listen to ours, Solomon is actually a PC from one of my Pathfinder games. And it's the same thing with by the time this comes out, we might have the PC or the NPC named yet, but it hasn't been revealed yet. But I have another PC or another NPC that is a PC in another game, and so I think that's one of my favorite things, is being able to pick up PCs from one game and drop them as NPCs in another game.
I threatened Jabert because he might, at our home table game, GM a Pathfinder, first edition Pathfinder game, and I said if we do Iron Gods, then I'm going to play like Andis 5. You better prepare for that. Spoilers, everyone, for the last couple weeks episodes.
Clockwork Andis.
Yeah. Basically.
The other thing for me is just always rule of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there's so many times that I look at it and I go, raw, that doesn't quite work, but you know what? It entertains me. So go for it.
We do try to do that a lot. It's like, what can we do to make Mew stuff their fist in their mouth, so not laughing, so that we can get away with it?
Well, okay, so like one example is Cal came up with this idea because we were going to Eox for something. And he's like, it'd be really gross but really awesome.
Oh,
an Eoxian nude beach.
Oh no! It's like that scene from The Shining when they opened up when Jack got into the room 327. Gross. That scene.
We give Mew some of these ideas, and they run with them.
More than you realize. Like, so much of what I do is just someone says something completely innocuous, and I'm like, yes, we are that. That's going to be like a whole 5-episode arc. Let's go.
Oh yeah, no, I've definitely taken bits and bobs from players when they least expected them to, like, this minor thing in their backstory. This is going to be huge. They don't even know it yet.
I think the best part about homebrewing really is that, first of all, no one can, get a hold of the script and find out what's coming up. So it really is completely new to everyone. And then you don't have a script to follow, which makes it a lot harder because you have to sit here and go. I mean, I spend more time sitting here going, oh my God, what am I going to do with these people? What am I going to lay
like
in front of them? And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, well, we'll do this and this and this and this. And the other thing is you can switch things up literally in the middle. Like where we're at, I had lined up 4 combat encounters. And after the first one, they started bragging about how that last one didn't do any damage. So I went, okay, no more combat encounter for you.
Oh,
that
here's a trap encounter, and then there's then I was like, okay, well, here's the nude beach.
And that was one person. The rest of us told them to shut up right away.
Don't anger the GM.
And
I was able to switch my plans like right in the middle of everything, and it was, there's no one going, oh, well, you missed out on this bit or that bit, because there's no bit to miss out on.
Yeah, no, exactly. And well, they no one can complain if something is actually too easy or too hard, because you're like, oh well, just you wait. Next week I'm taking your feedback and we're gonna dial it in just right.
Well, and speaking of giving feedback and these homebrew things, one of the things that's been really cool with our podcast and Mew, their ability to be flexible, is we've had one guest who is a friend of mine from another podcast come on, and I was like, can we make a character for them? And Mew was like, yeah, just give me a couple of weeks. And then went behind my back, talked to my friend, gave them all this backstory stuff, and they started doing stuff that none of us was happening until they left. We were like, wait, what? Huh? And that's going to be kind of a recurring theme of, we're just going to bring on random guests who, get to screw with us, apparently, according to me.
Pretty sneaky, GM. We've got to wrap it up here before we have too much fun this evening. But before we do, can you tell everyone, if they are looking to find you online, whereabouts they might look?
That's a punder thing.
You can find us on our website at www.experiencepoints.com. You can also find us
exactly like you would think.
Exactly like you. Yeah, exactly.
Don't put too much thought into it, but don't let Google autocorrect you.
Yeah, exactly.
We're also on Twitter. Our handle there is at EQ Points. And we're fortunate enough to be on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, and I don't know, we use Anchor for most of our stuff, and they have just sent us to so many aggregators. So
nice,
easy to find.
Yeah, no, wherever you get your podcasts. Looking at your sidebar now, it's basically wherever people listen to them. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I was watching some episodes to catch up this evening on your guys' YouTube channel. Make sure to check them out there too.
Yeah.
Right. So thank you all for being here this evening. We will have to check back in on the campaign before too long. But until then, yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for having us. This has been a blast.
Drew, as always, thank you.
You're welcome, Patrick.
Everyone have a great night.
I did a little hand salute move too. It was really cool.
Oh boy.
But nobody saw it.
No, I heard it. It's fun.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
All right, everyone. Have a great night, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.